Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mike, and thanks for jumping on here with me this morning as we finish our conversation this week on trying to lower the stress level for both you and your customers, right? Real estate transactions have historically been one of the top 5 on the stress chart for our customers and for us. And I just think it doesn't have to be that way. I think sometimes we're fighting with ourselves, and we've tried to cover some tips this week to address that. So we started off on Monday talking about the problems and the stress that come with everybody trying to close on the last couple of days of each month. That the lenders and the attorneys and the movers and everybody else associated with closing day, including you and me, just don't have the capacity to cram all of that in the last couple of days of the month. And our customers end up bearing the stress of this as lenders are last second at best. Sometimes they don't get it done at all, and then it pushes. And our customers have made all these plans around closing and moving at a certain time period, and now they have to continually readjust their plans. And it's very frustrating to them and very stressful. And it didn't need to be. If we would just act as trusted advisors and show them why they may not want to close on Friday, April the 28th. It just makes life so hard on everybody else. And then we talked about controlling our contingency expiration dates and times. Right? So when our contingencies to a contract expire at 11:59 p.m. tonight, then a lot of times you are up working at 10:30, 11, 11:30, trying to cram things in, and you're getting very frustrated sometimes with the other agent when they're not being responsive to you at 11:30 and you have an expiration time staring you in the face. Well, why did you make it 11:59 p.m.? Why don't you just make it 4:30 this afternoon? Why don't you just make sure that your contingency expiration dates and times are during normal business days and normal business hours? It's so easy to control. Control it. Yesterday we talked about listings and how many times do we have to sell a home to get paid? And why is the due diligence inspection period such a big shock, stressful, and frustrating for our customers? Why should it be? If I want to put a listing on the market, I absolutely, as a trusted advisor, want to be recommending to that home seller that they hire a home inspector, have the home inspected, and correct any significant issues before we even put the home on the market. And then they won't be so shocked and surprised. And then this feeling, right, that they have a lot of times that people are just messing with them. The car companies do it. The Nexus has their certified pre-owned program. They find everything wrong with the used car, fix it, certify that it's been fixed. It's not a bad idea. Today I want to finish up our conversation on this with talking about business partners. Specifically, lenders, closing attorneys. Here's the truth in our business among us as agents is this. And I think this is what kind of drives you crazy a lot of times. You run into what you call a bad lender or an uncooperative closing attorney. And I think this. I don't know if they're really bad or uncooperative. I think they want to get paid just like you do. But you don't have any power. You don't have any leverage. You have none at all. And I don't care whether you use the same lender as often as possible or not. You simply, any one of us, not just you, but any one of us, just simply do not have enough business to create leverage with these vendors. You just don't. They would like you to be happy. That would be nice, but it's not critically important. You are not critically important to their success this year. And I think that really bothers us because we want our vendors, and the reason we recommend our customers to them is so that they'll do a good job for them. But when they don't, what are you going to do about it? Well, the fact is, you're not going to do anything about it. And if you come to me and you're complaining about the lender or the attorney and their level of whatever, let's just call it uncooperativeness, I'm going to say, well, I'm sorry, but there's really nothing I can do. I'll be glad to call them, but they don't care what I think. And the truth is, no matter how much business you have to refer them, it's not enough business for them to really care what you think when they are faced with more problems to solve than they have time to solve them. You'll go to the bottom of the list, and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, maybe there is, because I think that our power, our leverage, our ability to say, no, you'll get this done, and you'll get this done right now, and they go, yes, yes, ma'am, we will, and then they do. Where do you get that power and leverage from? Not individually. Our power and leverage as Century 21 Connect Realty is in the collectiveness of it all. It's why we have designated business partners. We have Greg Janicki with First Community Mortgage, and we have Brett Pittman with Luter, Larkin, and Hunter. Why? Because if we will act as a collective, I want you to imagine this for a second, that all of us are recommending and referring our mortgage business to Greg, and all of us are recommending and referring it to Brett. Think about that for a second. All 200 of us. Do you think we now have power and leverage? Now, not to get them to do anything wrong. We're not going to do that. I would never even ask them to do it. But do you think that their interest extend beyond that individual customer and that individual agent? I think they do. And I think that's where our power and leverage come from. Not when Greg and Brett are closing 4 or 5 loans a month for us, when they're closing 40 or 50. And then our service level expectations and our problem solving expectations can reach an escalated level. You have a friend in the mortgage business, or you have a friend that works at a closing attorney, or they pay for a Facebook ad or cookies and lemonade to your open houses. I don't care. That's chump change. That's insignificant. When you can make $10,000 or $11,000 per closing, that's all I want to pay attention to. And I know this, you're going to have problems this year. You are. It's a function of doing business. You probably can't predict them. You don't know who and where and when they're going to come from, but you are going to have problems. And when you do, I want us to have the power and the leverage to control them. And that's the only reason why we have a business partner program. So go use your little buddy over at some law firm that you like. You won't have any power. And when you have problem-free transactions that you're not trying to get closed on the last day of the month, I think everybody loves everybody and you get along great. Wait till you have a problem. And let's see if you still are at the front of the line. I'd rather have a very defined strategy and way of knowing that you're at the front of the line. And that takes all of us pulling on the rope together. Now, as an agent myself, I acknowledge it's your business. I'm not outside of trying to be a trusted advisor to you and to show you how to create efficiency and reduce stress in your business. I say it's your business. You run it the way you see fit. But if you do, and you don't follow my recommendations, don't be surprised when you're selling houses 2 or 3 times to get paid once. Don't come into my office with all this frustration that the lender won't return your calls. I don't want to hear it, because you're choosing business partners for silly and insignificant reasons. If we all pull on the rope together, we can create a lot of power and a lot of leverage and a lot of problem-solving ability for ourselves and our customers. But we all have to work together on that. This has been a series this week on how to reduce the stress, tension, anxiety, and conflict within real estate transactions. I promise you this. If you were to adopt these 4 strategies, not only would your business run better this year, you would have less stress and anxiety, you would have much more efficiency in your business and be able to sell more homes in less time. And you would absolutely be going out there and making it happen for yourself each day.